Greetings everyone. Welcome to my presentation. My name is Muniswari Mohan Sundram from School of Education, University Technology Malaysia, Johor Bahru. Today I'll be presenting on the effects of peer coaching on teachers of secondary schools in Johor Bahru. These are my thesis outline for the presentation. Let's go into the first part of my presentation, the introduction. Peer coaching has existed for a long time and has evolved from a program that focuses on a specific training issue to a program that supports collegiality. It is the application of classroom teaching to real-world situations where teachers can benefit from other teachers to enhance their practice if the other teachers are likewise striving for improvement. However, the introduction of peer coaching in Malaysia receives mixed feeling with regard of its implementation, acceptance and practice due to various reasons ranging from perception on teachers, on the benefit and the practice of peer coaching, the approval and limitations profound by the school leaders, the concern from the authorities and more. Hence, this study would look into how peer coaching works and how it impacts the teacher's performance, especially on the part of instructional preparation, teachers' collaboration, and understanding of the school leaders. The study used sequential explanatory technique where the researcher gathered quantifiable information over the first component, assesses the discoveries, and thereafter employ the findings to structure the following part on qualitative component. The questionnaires for the study was adapted from prior studies and modified to suit these research objectives. Conversely, the quasi-interview was centered on the issues raised in the existing literature and quantifiable data analysis, including identifying how peer coaching practice influences teacher task performance with a focus on instructional preparation information. The researcher had to employ convenient sampling due to the difficulty in reaching out to the respondents in time, especially during this pandemic period. The samples for the study were secondary school teachers from Johor Bahru district with fewer than 3 years of experience as in-service teachers. Johor Bahru was chosen as this large district with a diverse variety of large schools and a large number of teachers, allowing for a reasonable size for research population. The sample size for the population of 178 teachers from 47 schools as per Cressy and Morgan, sample size is 118 teachers. In this study, 5 principals were chosen randomly in the research population to gather their feedback. Then these 5 principals recommended 2 teachers who fit in the criteria from their school to accommodate the study. Interviews were conducted with these 5 principals and 10 teachers. Pilot studies were conducted with teachers of similar sampling from a different population than the actual one. The Cronbach alpha value for the pilot test was 0.897. In the qualitative paradigm, reliability and validity are conceptualized as trustworthiness, rigor, and quality. As the result, the researchers were able to go through a very deep discussion with the supervisor when drafting interview questions to assure the quality and the validity of the interview. Section B of the questionnaire consists of 6 items and analyzed descriptively to answer research question 2, which is on influence or effect of using peer coaching on pedagogical preparation from the total of 118 respondents. The respondents noted that observation and feedback from their peers does contribute towards their pedagogical preparation and preparation towards their professionalism growth. Section C of the questionnaire consists of 6 items also and analyzed descriptively to answer research question 3, which is on assessing the collaboration among teachers on the implementation of peer coaching. It can be summarized generally that 90% of the sample population are favorable in the category of strongly agree and agree in regard to collaboration among teachers in the implementation of peer coaching, and 9.6% in the category of disagree and strongly disagree. Next, let's go to the findings from the semi-structured interviews where the teams as shown in the slide were categorized according to the research questions. Theme 1 discovers the reality of what's happening in the school regarding the implementation of peer coaching from the perception of principals and teachers. This theme responses for research question 4. On the scenario of peer coaching practice in school, the principals agreed that it's being practiced in their respective schools and they did explain on how it is being done. Principals shared how they have prepared scheduled weekly sessions and informal discussions to be conducted within the teacher groups. Theme 2 responds on the role of principals in supporting peer coaching in school environment. The teachers have agreed to receive support from school administration in the implementation of peer coaching program. The principals too have given affirmation that they do encourage their teachers to participate in the program. While Theme 3 describes about the challenges, setbacks, and potential barriers in the implementation of peer coaching in the real school culture. In this part, almost all the teachers have complained about time constraint and scheduling as the largest issue that they face in implementing and participating in peer coaching program in their schools. They have limited time they could spend in the classroom and finding observation sessions as a trouble. The second major setback that the teachers facing is the excessive workload. Teachers mentioned that they are being burdened with workloads and described it as the worst situation happening in their schools. Other than these reasons, as the challenges for the peer coaching practice, the support from the school administration, the school culture, and the environment influence these teachers in order to improve and develop their pedagogical skills. And lastly, the fourth theme describes the influence of peer coaching in their pedagogical performance. This theme retorts research question 2. When asked if they feel their teaching practice changed as a result of being part of peer coaching program, all teachers were in total agreement. Apart from giving assistance and guidance in improving their teaching skills, the practice have developed a notion of sharing among these teachers. The sharing include sharing of ideas, knowledge, techniques, experiences, teaching materials, and modules. Based on the analysis, it is found that interruption investigates teachers' perspectives on peer coaching practice in relation to their teaching and learning schedules, class controls, and curriculum implementation. Majority of the respondents note that they do not feel that participating in peer coaching will interrupt their instructional duties, clerical chores, or cause delays in completing their core duty in the classroom. Not only that, they feel that inserting peer coaching practice in the classroom does not decrease students' concentration, and these students don't really get disrupted when peer coaching session going on during their lesson hours. This is actually a good news as most teachers worry if they can include other elements in their limited sessions with the students. They may not be able to perform well or may disrupt their completion of the syllabus. This is especially important for novice teachers whom the researcher believe would still struggle to adjust the lessons with the due given to them by the department. More, teachers are found to be overworked and fatigued during their tight schedules and administrative responsibilities. These findings collaborated with the findings of Teaching and Learning International Survey or TALIS in 2013, which found that Malaysian teachers spend approximately 17 hours per week on teaching and 29% of their working hours on non-teaching chores, including administrative work. The problem of teacher workload becomes more acute at smaller schools with fewer teachers and personnel. Even though the school had a tiny enrollment, the administration and the policy compelled the teachers to form several committees, exactly as a larger institution. If these overburdened clerical duties are reduced from the teachers, these teachers are believed to be able to move forward with their potential in developing students towards better progress in all aspects. Plus, Almost all the teachers have complained about constraints and scheduling as the largest issues that they face in implementing and participating in peer coaching program. They have limited time they could spend with the students and find observation session as troubling them. Principals too admitted that they are facing problems in allocating time for peer coaching sessions, partially because of larger curriculum that had to be delivered. Next, teachers who are constantly on the lookout for better conditions and surroundings in which to promote their students' development, and some teachers can't take the challenge of being watched and can't readily change themselves for the goal of self-improvement and incentive to perform better, as evidenced by the fact that respondents are frightened and stressed during the observation sessions. Being young teachers, perhaps the most common worry over peer observation is not just the teaching, is that of inadequacy and the worry of what if, and the teachers, especially these novice teachers, should be more acceptable towards changing upcoming suit to current situation of teaching and learning. Besides that, they see peer coaching program as an evaluative assessment to review their performance, and this response justifies why they may feel stressed or worried of being observed by another peer during their teaching session. Researchers believe that this conception of peer coaching as an evaluative assessment came from their position as junior teachers, where observer often takes it as an assessment and the report being presented as well as documented in the said teacher's record. This perception is actually the one should be enlightened. Based on current research and my own observation, I feel that peer coaching practice has the potential to promote teachers' professional development in Malaysian schools. This is based on the findings of a quantitative survey and qualitative interviews that determine the teachers' willingness to put the concept of peer coaching into practice. To attain better outcomes in teacher accomplishment, well-managed procedures should be done to organize the peer coaching practice appropriately. To foster the collaborative atmosphere of peer coaching, instructional leadership, technique, and teachers' commitment should be examined. Simultaneously, all areas of the research obstacles should be addressed in constructive ways to get better outcomes. These are some of the references that were used for the presentation. And that's all from me. Thank you.